Have you ever noticed that you're still showing up every day, still getting things done, still meeting deadlines, but inside, you feel completely empty? Not tired in a way that sleep can fix, not stressed in a way you can easily explain, just drained. Welcome to emotional exhaustion in 2026, a quiet kind of burnout that doesn't always look like falling apart. Many people are still functioning, still smiling, still saying, "I'm fine," while internally running on fumes. In today's video, we're going to talk about this invisible tiredness, the subtle signs most people ignore, and gentle ways to begin recovery before it turns into something more serious. If this feels a little too relatable, you're not alone, and you're definitely not weak. What emotional exhaustion really looks like. Emotional exhaustion today often hides behind productivity. You're still doing what's expected of you at work, at home, and in relationships. On the outside, everything seems normal, but on the inside, you feel completely depleted. Unlike physical tiredness, this kind of exhaustion doesn't disappear after a good night's sleep or a weekend off. It's deeper. It affects how you think, feel, and respond to life. This happens because your emotional and nervous systems have been under constant pressure for too long, and instead of crashing, they switch into survival mode. Silent signs of high-functioning emotional burnout. One of the hardest things about emotional burnout is that it doesn't always look dramatic. Instead, it shows up in quiet, internal ways. 1. Joyless productivity. You still finish tasks. You still hit deadlines. People may even praise your consistency. But when you're done, there's no sense of achievement.
No pride, no joy.
You just move on to the next thing, feeling emotionally blank. 2. Emotional numbness, living on autopilot. Life starts to feel flat. You're not necessarily sad, but you're not really happy either. You go through daily routines on autopilot, eating, talking, working, without feeling deeply connected to what you're doing or how you feel. 3. Irritability over small things. Tiny inconveniences suddenly feel huge. A harmless comment, a delayed reply, or a small mistake can trigger intense frustration or emotional reactions that feel out of proportion, even to you. 4. Brain fog and mental slowness. You may notice difficulty focusing, forgetting simple things, losing your train of thought, or rereading the same sentence again and again. This isn't laziness, it's mental overload. 5. The escape fantasy. You might frequently imagine quitting everything, disappearing for a while, or being completely alone with no responsibilities. It's not that you hate your life, it's that your system desperately wants relief. 6. Guilt when you rest. Even when you finally try to relax, your mind won't slow down. You feel guilty for resting, anxious about what you're not doing, or pressured to be productive, even when you're exhausted. Recognizing invisible tiredness. These signs matter because they often mean your nervous system has entered what experts call conservation mode, a state where your body and mind are trying to preserve energy just to keep you functioning. Here are some subtle areas where this invisible exhaustion shows up. Physical clues. Frequent headaches. Tightness in the jaw, neck, or shoulders. Digestive discomfort like bloating or indigestion. Behavioral changes. Taking longer to reply to messages. Canceling or avoiding social plans. Relying heavily on caffeine or sugar just to get through the day. Emotional signals. A harsh inner voice that criticizes you for not doing enough. Constant dread about upcoming responsibilities. Feeling overwhelmed before the day even begins. None of these alone may seem serious, but together, they paint a clear picture of emotional burnout. How to begin recovery gently. Recovery doesn't mean quitting your life or making drastic changes overnight. In fact, small steps are often more effective and sustainable. 1. Name what you're experiencing. Simply acknowledging that you're emotionally exhausted can reduce the intensity of it. Putting a name to the experience helps your brain stop treating it as a personal failure. 2. Create micro-boundaries. You don't have to say no to everything, just start with small things. Decline commitments that drain you, even if you technically have the time. Energy matters more than availability. 3. Rest your mind, not just your body. Sleep is important, but it's not always enough. Mental rest might look like journaling, mindfulness, quiet walks, limiting screen time, or taking breaks from constant notifications. 4. Reach out for support. If these feelings last for weeks, worsen, or lead to unhealthy coping habits, professional support can make a real difference. Talking to a therapist or counselor isn't a sign of weakness, it's an act of self-respect. Emotional exhaustion doesn't always scream for attention. Sometimes, it whispers through numbness, irritability, guilt, and quiet fantasies of escape. If you're still functioning but feel empty inside, your body and mind may be asking for care, not criticism. You don't need to collapse to deserve rest. You don't need to fall behind to slow down. Awareness is the first step, and gentle changes can help you begin to feel like yourself again. If this video resonated with you, please remember you're not alone, and you're not broken. If you found this helpful, like the video, share it with someone who might need to hear this, and subscribe to the channel for more honest conversations about mental health, growth, and emotional well-being. Thank you for watching, and take care of yourself. You deserve it.